Hello, my name is Facundo Marroquin, and this is the final video deliverable for the Multicultural Perspectives class. The topic I chose to work with for this project was public transport and sustainability. The reason I chose this is because I think it is an important problem that is not often addressed but needs to be. I think if we acted on this sooner, we would benefit the economy, our society, and even the planet. This issue is important because it affects people all over the world, whether that is in a positive way or a negative way. The negative impact on people is in places where public transport doesn't exist or it's not good. For example, places where there is little to no public transport. People have to rely on cars, but that can be very expensive in the long run, and it puts people in more danger for going from place A to B. The positive impact on people is where there is good public transport like subways, buses, and trains that cost a little money and take people places fast and safely. To me, this is important because it could have a great global impact. For my interviews, I talked to two different people. The first one is Victor, a friend I met while living in Austin, Texas. He was born Canadian, raised French, and recently moved to the United States. He knows how public transport works, both in Canada and France, and is unhappy with the lack of it in Austin. The second person I talked to was Valeria, my cousin who lives in Monterey. Even though the public transportation is not the best there, and she doesn't use it, she thinks that a better system of transportation would come a long way to solve traffic problems in Monterey. There has never been a good system of transportation in Saltillo, so I can only imagine what it is like to have a good and safe public transportation in the daily life. The only witness to this is Victor, and I have no choice but to believe him. I always thought that it would be better, and that hasn't changed, so the only change in my perspective is that it is a more important issue than what I had previously considered. My solution to this problem is going to be different for every country and city. For smaller cities, the idea is to implement electrical buses that are strictly regulated, have a variety of routes, and overall provide a good service. For the bigger cities, I think that the buses are necessary, but also a subway station and even train station if that's possible. On a global scale, if this were to happen, it would have a huge impact in two main aspects: the economical aspect and the environmental aspect. Economically, for the governments, it would imply a big investment that would take time to make the money back, which maybe will hold back the government from doing it. But for the people, this would help them save a lot of money on gas and whatever repairs the car may need. Environmentally, it would reduce the amount of pollution by a lot, because if we make it an option that people want and will use, they will use it more than their cars. And it would be better for the environment to have one vehicle take 50 people than 50 vehicles driving by their own with one person each and polluting. For this to happen, what I would need to do is start a campaign locally where people join it and make it happen in Saltillo, then trying to grow to the state, then the country, and so on until this becomes a global thing.